Hey guys, this is Blitz. I have a lot of free time lately, so I figured I should make some content. And now that I don't think I'll be coaching anymore, simply just because I'm kind of burnt out from it, um, I figure this is the kind of content that I can make now that I, pretty much don't have to hide anything or uh, I can pretty much disclose whatever I feel like. So today's content. And I think I'm going to start doing this more regularly in general, but I kind of want to make more advanced content for Dota as a whole, just so people, I think there's a lot of stuff out there for intermediary to beginner players, but there's not a lot of advanced guides from 4K and up and stuff like that. So I figured it'd be good to create some kind of content geared around that. Uh, Bear with me because I'm not going to do any editing, and I usually just do stuff in one take without any notes or anything like that, and I go off of memory a lot, so finding the actual video times and stuff like that might kind of suck. But anyways, I played a game recently as Enigma. This was like a 6.7K average game or something like that, and I kind of wanted to discuss the concept of pushing in waves and safe versus unsafe farm. So uh, in this game, I'm playing Enigma offlaner, very common nowadays, and I just kind of want to go over some of the mistakes that I personally made and why I made them. So, for example, in this game, we're just going to fast forward through a few points that I want to make clear. Um, so in this game, I almost always go top, which is good. I want to shove out this lane. I want to try to pressure this troll as much as possible. And this is relatively unsafe farm. Like, this is the kind of farm that will actually accomplish something. And that's a concept that I think a lot of players in Dota don't understand is that getting farm is not the point in Dota. It never has been. From a competitive aspect, if you're getting farm that's perfectly safe and doesn't do anything on the map, you're not actually contributing. Whereas pushing out a wave and forcing things in is contributing. So this kind of farm is a good example of farm because it would be just as easy for me to go into these neutral camps and farm these, and that's just crap. It doesn't advance the game at all. So by going top, pressuring this troll, what this does is it puts some pressure on him and it makes his team rotate over, and they're forced to come and help him. So in this example here, we dive this troll because this is a very common play at any level, is you push in the wave, then you dive. The mistake here is that, of course, we don't create an angle of attack. We actually have to run straight at him. And so it's very unlikely that we get this kill. But even this play I'm kind of okay with because if you pause this game right at this point, I pushed in the wave, they responded top, and meanwhile, look at what's happening at bottom and mid. So I don't want to focus on that fight anymore. I just want to watch what happens here because uh, as a result of them having to 5-man rotate, we have a Terrorblade who's going to manage to take this tower, which is quite huge for us. And simultaneously, we're going to have our Juggernaut take this bottom tower. And, I'll chat good trade because I'm an asshole, but the point of this is that, and I'm going to adjust my audio levels real fast, is that this kind of farm helps my team. Even though I died, this is what, you would jokingly say is a space creation death. So I'm going to go back top, and I'm going to continue to do this, and I'm going to advance this forward and push out the wave. And I'm going to put some pressure on this tower because eventually you do want to take this tower, as I've noted in a lot of my past videos. Uh, and this is good. This is a thumbs up from Will, okay? This so far has been fine. And you don't want to overdo things or get caught or anything like that. The objective is just to force people over and then play a little bit safe. And that's why Enigma's so good, is that I can just send my Eidolons to kind of do my bidding for me. So I push in the wave with Enigma and just farm, farm, farm. Farming it up, no big deal. And then at some point, I'm going to go and TP back to base. And here's the pivotal mistake that I make that I think a lot of people wouldn't really consciously think about. So I'm 150 gold away from my Blink Dagger, right? And and this is a mistake that I think a lot of people make because they don't consciously think about it, is that they're going to go to the nearest camp. They're going to go for what this is the opposite of what you want to do. You're going to go for the easy farm. So what this is going to do, and try to think about Dota in terms of wave pushing, right? So if they push in top, I'm going to push in top, they're going to push in. It's like a constant battle, but by me going here, it's going to have a huge ripple effect on this game. So I'm gonna fast forward things. I'm gonna get my blink dagger and stuff like that, but this was probably the most game losing play that I made because what I should have done is I should have walked all the way back top after I TP'd out, and when he goes to push in the wave, I just push it back out. I midnight pulse this, then I idle on some creeps, and then I shove it back. That way he doesn't take the tower, and I leave my jungle open for the rest of my team. But by doing this play, I actually reset the balance of the map, and I made things really difficult because now we have 4 people crowded in our jungle, and I'm not actually accomplishing anything. This is a really bad example, or a really good example of bad farm. Like this is very safe farm that accomplishes nothing on the map, and all it does is make my team feel very weird. Because even though these guys don't realize it, it's not a good play by me. It's in fact a very game-losing play because I cleared this jungle that my Jug could have farmed. Uh, I forced my team into an awkward position to begin with, and if you notice, it's going to have even more ripple effects. Now, Jug doesn't really feel like he has a place to go, and he's going to have to traverse all the way through the map. And now they've got control of this area because I wasn't there to push it out. And now, just like this horrible sequence of events is going to happen as a result of this. So we're going to do all this stuff, and now we're going to smoke. We are going to kill this Wisp, but in general, it's kind of a weird smoke, and also we're going to lose this Roshan as a result of losing that top tower. So in the end, it kind of gets salvaged because we hit good spells. We had good spell usage, and they kind of forgot that Enigma was a Dota 2 hero, and I'm gonna get like a sick 4-man hole here. But the point is like that was a bad play. If you consistently make that kind of play, you're gonna lose your team the game. It just put my team in a weird position. It wasn't a very good play to begin with, and that's kind of just an example of what bad farm is versus good farm. Good farm advances things in the map. It pushes out the wave, it forces heroes over, it creates space on the map. Bad farm is it's easy to get, it doesn't really do anything, and it kind of pigeonholes your team into one kind of play. Um, so I think there's one more example of that in this game. So we take this mid tower, very good, and then I go back and I start jungling, which I shouldn't do because I could just go to this top lane and force it out, which would enable our own jungle. Um, but instead, I just go for the easy farm again, which is the nearest camp to me, and I don't really think about it. And so my Terrorblade is also kind of doing the same. My Juggernaut is kind of forced into this weird position because I've taken the jungle. And now, because of my play right here, instead of going top, I'm going to cause my team like a lot of harm. So I'm going to get gone on right here. I'm going to feed a kill, which is a dual kill. And on top of that, this lane isn't pushed out, this lane isn't pushed out. Like, imagine if I had gone bottom, pushed this wave out, or if I had stayed top and just pushed that wave in, nobody would be here. But instead, I die, and then just everyone dies, we lose our mid tower. And so that's 2 crucial errors that I made this game that have just snowballed into one thing into another. And that's kind of the mistakes that you want to look for because it's often a lot of times when players look at the game, they look at it very linearly. So they look at it mistake by mistake. So they'll think to themselves like, "Oh, you got caught here. Well, why did I get caught?" Is kind of the more important question to ask, and what led to the sequence of events. So that was 2 key moments in the game that kind of made the game a little bit more difficult than it had to, and that was almost entirely based on my play. And we did end up winning it because I got another like 5-man black hole, but you don't want to have to rely on plays like that or having to massively outplay your opponents in terms of mechanical skill just to pick up a win. So that's the first part of what I wanted to talk about. I'll try to make another video sometime after. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Feel free to answer and stuff like that. I just figured it would be good to highlight my own replay first. I can try to look up some examples of pro replays where people make the correct play consistently, but yeah. So thanks for watching, and that's it. Bye.